This is Raptor Jesus, an internet name. Started 7 years ago. I was born 90 million years BHC, before human Christ, and I went extinct for all your sins. How many people can say that they sat on a panel next to Stan Lee and Mark Hamill? He touched my arm. Raptor Jesus! He kissed my cheek once. It was awesome. I was like,
yeah, you were pretty giddy up there.
Oh my. Okay, I had friends in the audience that were going, literally looking at me like,
yeah. So my favorite quote from the panel is that you saw the original Darth Vader, the one from Jedi.
No, Empire.
Empire, okay. You touched it, and then you licked your hand so that it would be inside you forever. Do you have this reaction with all of the icons that you come into contact with?
No, I don't. Like, my fandom is kind of different. Like, Mark's cool and everything, but I'm not going to bother the shit out of him. Yeah. But I like things like costumes and stuff. Like, if you gave me the original Dark Lily dress from the movie Legend that Tom Cruise was in back in the day, I would freak out. It's like objects.
You like objects. Likes objects.
That are shiny, like Darth Vader's helmet. I mean, like, David Prowse could be sitting next to me, and I'll just be like, hey.
What up?
Yeah, but
how's it going?
If he would, like, take a helmet and be like, I wore this, I'm like, oh my god, the helmet. Like, I don't know, like things.
So what would be your dream prop to own from anything?
Dream prop? Holy shit. You know, the first thing that popped in my head, Edward Scissorhands glove would be pretty cool. Some screen cells from the movie.
They're downstairs on the con floor. So
yeah,
at the Hollywood, like.
Are they original?
Yeah, they've got the whole costume original because they're going to auction it off. So it's at the Hollywood memorabilia booth downstairs.
See, I'm thinking about buying a house. I think that buying the Edward Scissorhands costume is kind of counterproductive
to
my life plan. No, I mean, I need to be careful and curb my spending. When I go to the con floor, I almost purposely dress up in costumes so people won't bother me, so I don't spend all my money. Last year I bought like film sales from every Star Wars movie, and I walked out of here like much poorer. much poorer, I would imagine. Yeah.
So was there much temptation to spend money when you were out and about with your...
Yeah, it's much harder to spend money when I'm talking and interacting with people, and you know, like I have different kinds of fans. I have like fans that I call them the Howard Stern fans. They creep me out and get away from me. And then I have fans like this where we have everything in common, and I get to walk through the Gaslamp district and like 50 people are like, oh, let me buy you a shot. And I'm like, don't mind if you do. Let's throw it out. Let's do this. This is a much more enjoyable fandom, I think.
Yeah. Do you venture out to the floor and out into the Gaslamp quarters on your own, or just accompanied by friends?
Just usually by friends. One year when I dressed up as Slave Leia, I had to get my friend, who's the head of the Mandalorian Mercs, Boba Fett's race, and I had to have the Mandalorians as my escort, but it kind of went with my costume, so it was cool. So people weren't like fucking with me, because they're like, oh, hey, you know, as I was walking by. But I'm pretty safe here. I mean, I kickbox 7 days a week with an ex-Olympian. I dare someone to like come after me, but I literally last year held court at the Blarney Stone on 5th and Market for 2 nights. And I had my own huge party with like the big zombie walk that was going to, it was fantastic from what I remember.
Speaking of the Jedi costume, last year a UK publication called that a Star Trek costume. Have you had any kind of like interesting, do you remember this at all?
A Star Trek.
They called your Slave Leia a Star Trek. In an article, they Adrianne Curry in a Star Trek costume.
I think that's great, because maybe it was from just trolling people, you know what I'm saying, waiting for everyone to like, no! Yeah. People get pissed about that.
Yes.
It's funny.
There was a little Twitter like craziness about it, I recall. And I wondered if you were aware of it and if you had any...
I think that mistake has been made a couple of times with me with costumes.
Yes.
Especially if I'm like taking a picture with a Star Trek fan.
Yes.
They'll be like, oh, it's Star Trek, blah, blah, blah. You know, I'm not one of those nerds that's like, well, you didn't know that this like, we all have our specialty. Some people it's just World of Warcraft. Other people it's just Star Wars. And some people it's anything Game of Thrones. Me.
Anything Game of Thrones, anything Star Wars, anything.
I'm all encompassing. Like, I really like the fantasy movies, Dark Crystal, Legends, you know, Labyrinth, all that stuff. And then I like a lot of sci-fi movies. I just watched, damn it, what is that Star Trek movie? It's from the 80s, and it's with the whales.
Oh, Voyage
Oh
Home.
my god, it's so fucking bad. It was so good though, because it was so bad. Spock gets in his underwear and like talks to a whale in a tank. I swear to God. It's awesome. And then Captain Kirk accuses him of being on LDS, LSD, or Church of Latter-day Saints. Who knows what Spock was on it. I don't know. I'm a fan of weird shit, though. I gotta say, I just watched Battlefield Earth the other day. That's not even fun. Like, I couldn't even have fun making fun of it, and I couldn't get my riff tracks to work, the guys from Mystery Science Theater, so I could actually laugh at it. So I was like, fuck it, I bought it, I'll just watch it again. And I was like, halfway through, and I forced myself to watch it because I spent $3.99 on Amazon. I'm gonna watch it.
So I write for bleedingcool.com, and I write a column called Geek Girl on the Street, talking about women in pop culture, their role in pop culture. And I was wondering if you could maybe send a little message to my Geek Girl readers about what it's like being Adrianne Curry, how you feel being a Geek Girl has improved your life. Or what you want to
me is kind of cool because I'm alive and healthy.
Yes.
And I'm not dying. That's awesome. Being a Geek Girl was much easier before I won top model. It was like the second I became a model, everyone's like, oh, well, you must be really fucking stupid and you must lie about everything you like.
So you really underplayed your geekiness on that show, terribly.
They had to. And they tried to downplay everything, but the fact of the matter was, look at me on the thing. I was a mess. I had like spiked collars and 9-inch nail shirts and stuff.
And Pink Floyd shirts.
That's what, yes, I did.
I almost brought my collar to have you sign it because I have the exact same one.
I still have mine. It's my good luck.
Yay!
But being a Geek Girl has been awesome because my friends are amazing. I have so many friends in the 501st, the Mandalorian Mercs, Rebel Legion, and we get to go to cons with each other all the time. And outside of, you know, fans or people saying, well, you're not a real this or that, I don't give a crap because I get to hang out with my friends, and we have our Mystery Science Theater nights where we try to be as funny as Tom Servo, and it doesn't work. But
that's amazing.
I mean, it's a way to still feel young when you're pushing 30, like me.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am. Next month I turn the big 3-0. What the?
You were just a baby then when you were on Top Model. You were just a baby.
I was 20 years old. It was a decade ago.
Okay, that's a decade ago. I turned 40 in here.
Yeah, 2003. So in 2013. It will be 10 years. I always tell everyone I'm the Kelly Clarkson of Top Model.
Oh. You've done a great
But she had a great career afterwards.
Yeah, and she was the first, and I was the first, so it's like... What, are you stealing me?
Yep.
Okay.
Guys, any questions for the show?
Superfans comes out in September. It's done very reality TV, very professional. I've worked in reality post-production prior.
Yes.
It looks fucking good. It looks like a TV show, not like some boring, non-flashy internet shit.
Was it the most freaking fun, amazing fun ever, just to go and dig into the minds of these crazy fans all across the country? Like, what is the weirdest thing you encountered?
The weirdest thing
the most unexpected, weirdest, obscure little geeky thing about someone.
Somebody, and I'm not naming any names,
okay,
had a collection of bowls, pipes with their favorite like nerddom on it, but we couldn't film it. And I was like, what? They make this?
So they had like a Doctor Who
unused, like a Doctor Who like
TARDIS pipe.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I was like, okay, that's interesting. But he's like, I had to have everything, and then I saw this, and I was like, I had to have this. I was like, okay.
Awesome.
Sure, but it was unused. Because I looked. Well, you can tell. Yeah, I was like, are you? No.
Was it hard to find people to go and meet, or when you put your shout out online, you get loads of response?
It was initially a little hard. I'm hoping during season 2 it won't be. What I find out about, like, I'm going to just say my friends or the nerd community, is they don't want to be made fun of. And I had to really tell them I'm an executive producer on this, and we're not making fun of you. You're not going to look like a loser. We're not going to say you don't ever get a piece of ass or that you live off your mom's dime. Everyone I interviewed are very highly successful in life outside of their family. So I wanted to show people, like, you're sitting here making fun of these people. Well, look at this guy cruise around in his Shelby with his big, beautiful house and his whole justice he built in his backyard. Go ahead and hate.
There's no hating to be done there. That's just pretty rad.
Dude, he
We're
has
just
a whole
jealous.
justice in his backyard. Wait till you see it. In Indiana, in the middle of a fucking cornfield.
That's rad.
I was like,
That's where my
Thanks,
son's going
Adrianne.
to see.